From race riots and social inequality to overpriced healthcare and underfunded education, America seems to be stuck in a time warp. But something has changed: the way we consume our news. The anger we witness on the streets and the vitriol we read online is often just a fist fight between those on the left versus those on the right.
When I was growing up in Southern California, there were 3 networks. There was ABC, NBC, and CBS. I mean, watching the news is like a family event.
My neighbor Phil is 68 and spent his life working as a public defender.
News was news. It wasn't entertainment. Walter Cronkite was not hired because of the way he looked. Whatever Walter Cronkite's point of view was, you did not know.
Good evening. A unique day in American history is ending.
Since 1959, the Federal Communications Commission, or FCC, required broadcast licensees to present issues of public importance in a manner that was fair and balanced. This requirement came to be known as the Fairness Doctrine, and although not perfect, it was an attempt to educate and inform viewers of the facts rather than just peddling one opinion. And from this balance, a generation of moderates was born.
There are some people who are open-minded, but most people don't want to be open-minded. They say, I'm a Fox guy. That's where I get my news. News has become more entertainment-oriented. I don't really view them as journalists. They're political hacks.
Question, Senator Hutchinson.
We talk about the so-called fairness doctrine. You said that you did not support reviving it.
No, Senator, I believe strongly in the First Amendment. I don't think the FCC should be involved in censorship of content based on political speech or opinion.
When Obama got elected, that's when Fox became what it is now. Corporate America runs the news.
In 1969, the Supreme Court upheld the constitutionality of the Fairness Doctrine, but applied a lower standard of scrutiny to the First Amendment rights of broadcasters than it applied to other media.
Well, there probably were political reasons. It was from Ronald Reagan. What was his motive for doing that? Deregulation.
In 1987, under Republican President Ronald Reagan, the FCC repealed the Fairness Doctrine, claiming the doctrine likely violated the free speech rights of broadcasters and was no longer required because of the increasing competition among mass media.
This is those liberals putting regulations we don't need. The regulation always favors the ruling class.
Many broadcasters complained that the Fairness Doctrine was overly burdensome and inhibited their ability to cover issues of public importance. Those in favor of the doctrine, mostly on the left, believed that it ensured vibrant discussion over the public airwaves. The FCC reasoned that the Fairness Doctrine actually chilled speech.
After Vietnam, there wasn't like a hot button topic. There was all sorts of stuff going on. Whereas now it's like, if you're for Trump, I don't want to talk to you. And I don't think it was like that back then. That there is change. So I don't think it's a complete time warp. And hopefully things will get better.
The debate in Congress regarding whether to reinstate the doctrine continued right up to 2011. Good journalists self-police their editorial content. But in the current climate, it's citizen journalists with their smartphones telling the real stories. This piece was produced by Anthony Davis as part of the 24-hour radio race from KCRW's Independent Producer Project.